Hey, welcome back. Another video today featuring the Mutt, my '87 Ford Ranger Truggy. And today we're going to get into changing some ball joints with not ball joints. Stay tuned. Okay, welcome back. So today what we're going to be doing is I'm going to be adding a set of ball joint deletes. These are from American Iron OffRoad, and this is a fairly new product to the market for what they consider the old school Dana 44s. This would pertain to the old Fords, Dodges, and Chevys, I believe, like late 70s, maybe into the early 80s. But anyway, what this is going to do is this is going to eliminate the standard ball joints. I have the upgraded Yukon ball joints in this truck, which were like $250 a set. They're pretty good. The truck only has 1,200 miles on it now, and I'm already getting some slop in this upper right here. 40-inch tires, it's a lot of weight per corner. But what these are going to do is they're going to eliminate those. It has like a ball inside of it with a seal, and it's going to eliminate the point of wear in the ball joints. And these are, every component in these are rebuildable and replaceable. So the inserts only have to be pressed into my reed knuckles one time. And then after that, it's just a matter of unbolting it and everything comes apart. I don't ever have to deal with a press again. And then over time, the more ball joints you change, you actually will kind of wear out the hole in the knuckle to the point where eventually this with the knurl ain't going to hold anymore. So I'll have to do this one more time and then no more. So anyway, let's get a closer look at these and show you what they look like. Okay, so here's what we have. These would be the lowers, and these are the uppers. These will go ahead, get pressed in. So there is a ball inside, some O-ring, a little bit of grease, some washers to seal everything up. And look pretty simple. They have hex on the bottom to tighten up the stud on both upper and lowers. Got nylon locking nuts top and bottom. So it looks pretty simple. I got the instructions downloaded, and we're gonna go ahead, jump into it. I'm gonna go ahead, just do one corner at a time, get this all pulled apart and set up the camera, and let's walk through this. Also, one more thing I want to point out before we jump into this here. If you don't have a Dana 44 and you have the full-size Dana 60, make sure to go check out my friend Dan over at Build It, Wheel It, Explore It on his YouTube channel. He just did a full install video on putting them in his Super Duty Dana 60 and his Ford Explorer. So if you're interested in seeing the install of those, go check out Dan's video. Okay, step one, disassemble. So I got brake caliper off, hung up, tie rod is off, and now I'm going to go ahead and disassemble the hub and get the spindle nut off, get the rotor off out of the way. Then I can go ahead and I can pull the axle off. I got this side kind of jacked up higher than the other side, so when I pull the axle out, hopefully all the gear oil in the axle stays in the pig, doesn't come running down the tube since I have the end uphill here. So let's go ahead and get this disassembled. Then I can knock the two nuts off the ball joints and get the reed knuckle off. Okay, so I got spindle nuts off, obviously the rotor's off, pulled the spindle with the caliper bracket, got that off. Now I'm down to my axle shaft. So I'm going to go ahead, grab a rubber glove here for the dirty end, and we're going to pull the axle out carefully. Okay, There it is. Inspect the splines. Nothing going on there. So obviously I had something going on. The ball joint, the little cap for the grease fitting was actually rubbing. It cut RCV boot right in half, basically. So I have brand new boots. You can get these from RCV, get replacements. I will go ahead, before this goes back together, I will replace the boots on both sides with brand new shiny orange ones. So it looks good. Okay, I got the nuts off, upper ball joint. I got the nut almost completely off the lower here. This thing is super loose. And actually, the alignment adjuster inside here is moving with the ball joint, so the alignment is literally changing. That's wild. So anyway, we're going to go ahead and give it a couple whaps, see if she'll drop. Finally. Never have to do that again after this. All right. Get this nut off. And boom. There we go. Let's throw this up on the bench and let's take a good look at these ball joints, see how bad they are. Okay, there's the knuckle. The upper is actually still pretty stiff, not too bad. The lower is very loose, though. Very, very loose. So, I'm going to go ahead and pull the snap ring off the lower, then go ahead and get everything chucked up in my press. Pop these out. Probably not going to film that, so I'm going to need all of my hands. But anyway, oh, there's the new boots for the RCV. So let's get these popped out, and then I will show how to put in the new American Iron OffRoad inserts. Okay, I got the ball joints out of the reed knuckles. I have the ball joint inserts. So this is a potential problem you might run into. The actual inserts are not press fit. They actually I just pressed them in by hand. They just go right in. That's the problem you'll have whether you're dealing with 50-year-old original Ford knuckles or you have aftermarket reed knuckles. This center bore in the knuckles where the ball joints go, I mean, they're going to vary. Some will be wore out, some may be super tight. You get what you get. So I called American Iron OffRoad and explained what was going on. And basically, what I'm going to end up doing is I'll put a little bit of Loctite on them. I'll go ahead and drive them down in. What I did was I took a die grinder and I cleaned off 4 little spots of clean metal on the cast part of the knuckle. And then I also ground off the coating on the insert itself. I'm just going to go ahead and drive this down in. And I'm going to put four tack welds at 10, 12, or I'm sorry, 12, 3, 6, and 9 o'clock. And then that should hold it in. It's not a big deal. Their original design for their Dana 60 ball joint deletes are a fully weldable one, so it's not a big deal. But the only thing you have to do is you have to take out the snap ring and remove the bearing because there is a nylon seal in it, so you don't want to melt this. So I disassembled it so it's just the cup. It's just the insert. So everything is clean. What I'm going to do is I'm going to get my torch. I'm going to heat this up. I'm going to try to get it as warm as I can with my bottle torch. And then I'll go ahead and put my tack welds on. And that should be good. And I'll do the same on the other one as well, too. So not a big deal. Just one more little step you're going to have to take. think that's going to be plenty warm enough. Okay. Okay. There's the inserts and the knuckles all assembled. The directions pretty clear on, there's a rubber O-ring and then a shim on which goes on which side. So they are in. I put 2 tack welds there, 4 tack welds on that one there. Top one was much tighter than the bottom one anyway. So now I'm going to go ahead and bring it over to the truck, and we're going to slide it up onto the shanks that are already installed. Okay, step 1 in the instructions, the adjuster for the camber caster bushing here, adjust it up so it's flush with the top of the C. Mine is an offset one. I want as much caster as I can get, so I have that adjusted the thinnest part towards the back of the C. You're going to take a long one here for the upper, feed it up through 2 washers on top. The nylon lock nut goes on top. Don't cross thread it. Then Allen bolt in the bottom, hold it. And then 60 foot-pounds on the nut. So, okay, top shank is in, torque to 60 foot-pounds. Same exact procedure for the lower. Insert it up from the bottom. Put your nut on. Allen wrench in there. Use a ratchet just to get her. Okay, both shanks are in, torqued 60 foot-pounds per the instructions. Now I'm going to go ahead and press in the inserts into the reed knuckles, and we're literally almost done. All right, let's get these pressed in. Okay. All right, we got the knuckle, got the shims. I need to make sure these stay in place as I slide these up into their home. So, let's see here. Line up the bottom and up the top. Okay. Directions say to start the top nut loosely, just to hold it into place. Okay. I'll go ahead and start the bottom one. You're gonna see gaps, like, because originally the ball joints you had a rubber boot right here that would kind of fill that gap up. You don't have that now, so it looks a little weird. But there we go. Now we gotta torque these. There is a sequence. All right. Okay, so according to the directions, I have both of the nuts on the lower part of the shanks. I got them just snugged up with a ratchet to take the slack out of them. Got a little bit of resistance in them already. And it says the torque sequence is torque each of the nuts to 40 foot-pounds. Continue this in 10-pound increments, rotating between top and bottom. Do not exceed 60 foot-pounds total. It says if resistance is felt, meaning this, at 50, it's okay to stop at 50. So I'm going to grab my old school torque wrench here because I need to read it. This one has a thing on the bottom so I can flip it over. So we'll see what the bottom is at first. That's like 10 right there. We're going to try to go to 40 first. Okay, here we go. And the right angle for this socket. Jeez, what's going on here? Well, there's not a lot to grab there because it's sunk in. Okay, well, let's try the top one here. There's 25. A little more. Yeah, that feels pretty good there. Okay. With the new boot on, I'm going to go ahead and gently slide the axle back in. All right. She's engaged to the diff. She's seated. And I want to take a look at the clearance between the boot and these shanks. Make sure it's good. Oh, wow. Yeah. We're good. It's not a lot of clearance, but it's clearance. Okay. So we can go ahead and put the spindle and the caliper bracket on and bolt everything up. All right. There it is. I got the spindle and the caliper bracket on. Right now would also be a really good time to inspect in the back of the spindle. There's a needle bearing and a seal called the spindle bearing and seal. Good time to check it, replace if it's bad. Make sure you have a good seal on there because you could get water in from the back side of the axle that would feed right into your hub and get to your bearings and your lockouts. You don't want that. So make sure that's got a good seal on it. And that's it. I just got to assemble the brakes, put the rotor back on, and that's it. There is what it looks like. Like I said, there's a gap because there's no boot there now. Um, I almost wonder if there would be something that you could add to that to help protect that bearing, but maybe it's not an issue at all. I'm not the engineer here. And the bottom, kind of see it. So that's it. American Iron Off-Road ball joint deletes for the old school Dana 44s. All right, well, that's going to conclude this job, other than the brakes anyway. But there you have it, the ball joint deletes for the old school Dana 44s. Very simple install. The only snag I ran into was the sleeves being a little bit loose in my reed knuckles. Nothing to do with the product itself. There's just so many variables when it comes to that bore. So it is what it is. Tack welded on, we're good to go. I had the blessings from American Iron Off-Road to do that. So we got the new boot on the RCV. So we're all wrapped up. So I appreciate you watching. If you're a subscriber, thank you very much. Give it a like. And if not, give it a share. We'll see you on the next one. I got lots more in store. So stay tuned. Later.